It's the Life Calling Coach, and I'm here again. I'm giving you part of my piece of serenity today. Let me turn my camera around so you can see. Look at this. Just the piece of serenity. Look at the water. Just listen. The boat. You hear that boat move right here? Oh my goodness. Who needs to look at me when you can look at all this water out here? When you can look at the beauty of God's creation. I mean, this is God's creation. Who can, oh my goodness. So day two, right? Day two of peace and serenity, right? Yesterday, I was a part of a little writing group. And in the writing group, we just sat and just was doing free writing for about an hour, just whatever comes out and just working on something. And I went back to my book and I started working on an exercise. Writing's emotional for me because that's how, I don't know if you can see this down here. Oh, my battery. Okay, guys, I'm going to try to be quick with this. I don't think you can see that down here. I can actually see the green under the water. It's just amazing. I'm sorry that I'm fascinated by nature. So what I was saying is that I ended up doing some free writing yesterday, and it was emotional for me because my writing is my release, and that's how I release the things that I guess what my writer friend told me yesterday is that's when I am my most vulnerable when I write. So I was able to really dig in and release quite a few things related to the domestic violence that I have endured. And I don't know how to, I just, I think I question more than anything, like whether or not, are you ever over it? Are you ever really over it? I don't know the answer to that because, quite frankly, I don't know very many people who have come out and then that could be a project too, right? It could be a project. Are you ever over it? I don't know the answer to that. But the only thing I do know is that I am going to continue and I'm going to continue to share my journey. I am going to try to help others heal in their journey as well. And prayerfully, with us moving forward, that all of us can heal. Maybe we can answer that question together. Do you ever get over it? Do you ever come out of it? It's difficult for me to talk about, so that's why I don't talk about it a lot. And that is why I'm writing about it, because the talking about it is very difficult. It's very emotional. So I'm not going to be on here long, but I wanted to share the rest of my peace and serenity with you, that in this environment, God is pouring out so much from me. He is pulling things out. And today, I will go back into my writing and get some more done, um, so that I can heal. So let me get my camera back so you can see the water. Look at the water. I mean, this is just therapeutic in itself. Just sitting out here in the wind, in the water, and just look at that. Look at that. It's just therapeutic in itself. Okay? I just wanted to give you a moment of peace and serenity. If you don't have any with you where you are, it might be at work, you might just need a minute and say, oh, I needed that. I needed that quiet. I needed that just to listen. Silence. Yes. Silence. God told me to come and just be quiet. I was going to talk, but he said be quiet, just silence. Because I don't know what to say sometimes. At least I got a better connection today. The other day, the connection was horrible. Horrible. It was horrible connection. When I went back and looked at the video, it was so spotty, and it's like, oh my goodness, look at the bird. Look, look, look. I'm giving you nature today. Whether you want it or not, I'm giving you nature. So, inquiring minds want to know, right? What do inquiring minds want to know? What do inquiring minds want to know about Coach Athena? What do inquiring minds want to know? Just feel the peace. Just feel the peace. For you, peace, serenity. awkward silence. So yesterday I talked about what I did when I left out of the relationship. I went to Dallas. I got very angry, you know, especially when he would be really angry, I mean abusive with words and things, and it reminded me a lot of my stepfather. So there's a part in me. I don't hate anyone, but I strongly dislike people of any kind. I don't care if it's man or woman who think that I can say what I want to you. I can pour my anger and my pain and my frustration out on you because I can do it and I feel justified to do it. And I have met a lot of people like that. And I'm not saying that abusers are like that. I'm just talking about people in general. And I don't like that. Because no, you don't have a right to pour your stuff on me or anybody else for that matter. So knowing that that always existed in me, I'm very happy and proud about how I responded to some of the triggers and how I didn't respond. Let me say it that way, how I didn't respond because, oh, it could have went left. When you have PTSD and you're triggered in that way, you don't know how you're going to respond. But I thank God he gave me the control to respond in a good way. I'm going to show y'all the water in the back. Isn't it beautiful? So I don't think anybody has the right to dump their pain and their trauma on you because I can. It's irresponsible, and you do more harm than you do good to that person. You just think it's just words. No, it's not just words. It's energy. It's emotional. You can put a person in an emotional rut. And so you've taken your emotional rut and then you've dumped it onto another person so you can feel better. That's not cool. It's not cool. And I'm not saying I haven't done that. I've done that. But I didn't know at that time what I was doing. That's why I say, Father, you forgive them for they know not what they do. But when you become aware and you become responsible for what you put out there. So I'm responsible for what I put out now. I can't go and dump my stuff on somebody else because I just can, just because you're here. So back to the story, okay. So I went to Dallas. And what I was saying is that I never really responded or retaliated in any way. One reason is because I love them and I'm not going to purposely hurt a person I love. But when I was trying to explain, when I was in Dallas, I was trying to explain to him through email about what you just did to me. You traumatized me. And oh, he was didn't want there was the nasty tongue again. I don't care about what you went through and woo, and that did it that day. It really triggered me and I was like, everybody has enough is enough, right? So yeah, I responded because at that time I was trying to separate myself completely, get my name off of things, and I still had my name on two things in the household. So after that response, while I was sitting right there in the Dallas airport, I cut all that stuff off. I took my name off and I cut it off. And at that time, I didn't feel bad about it. Now, afterwards, I did feel bad about it. And it was done purely out of anger. Purely out of anger, frustration, fed up. I had enough. How much more do you think you can do to me before you think that I'm not going to respond, right? So, because of my response, now he's in his feelings and telling everybody I'm done with her and know what she did to me. Come on. After that darn hellish nightmare of 3 years, you're crying over one incident? And then I reminded them, oh, you know how you do when you get angry, right? I was angry, so you should understand, because you did a whole lot of stuff in anger. So I was angry. So you should understand why I did that. That shouldn't be no surprise. But it's funny when they're on the other side of it, because when they're on the other side of it, no, they don't understand. Mm-mm. They don't understand. No, you are going to be damned to hell because you did something out of anger in retaliation, not retaliation, but in response to what they've been doing to you. And I'm not going to do that to anyone else again. In the last 7 months, I have been working on my self control. So I won't ever allow anybody to push me to that point again. I won't ever allow anybody to get me out of my character, off of my square again. And, but sometimes, guys, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, because people think they can keep pushing you. They're going to keep pushing you, and they're going to keep pushing you until they push you over the edge. So you have to assert yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to assert yourself. I was bullied when I was in elementary school. So I used to run home from school every day because I didn't want to fight. I'm not a fighter, right? So I didn't want to fight. But these people wanted to fight me. And at some point, you just get tired of people messing with you, and you're just going to stand up for yourself, and you're going to, okay? One of the fights I remember I was in as a teenager, and this I knew that. Come on, I knew with this girl, I was half her, she was half my size, so I knew that that wasn't even a fair fight, right? But she insisted that she was gonna kick my ass, right? So I was mad. That was my first PTSD trigger, when I blacked out and don't know what I did. And I said I would never allow anybody to get me that angry again. Okay? Never. And I'm going to cut this short because my battery's going to go. Well, I'm going to finish this story. So, what I'm saying is that once I started showing these people that I was not a pushover, I'm not a fighter, but I'm not going to sit there and let you do what you think you want to do to me either. Then they started to leave me alone. So what I'm saying to you today is protect yourself. Stand up for yourself. Don't allow anybody to bully you. Don't allow anybody to steal your joy. I'm not telling you to go out here and hit anybody. I'm not telling you to do anything or retaliate in that way. Just assert yourself and say enough is enough. And you love yourself enough to do that. Okay? So assert yourself and say enough is enough. So this is a life calling coach, and I encourage you today, in this beauty of serenity and peace down here on this water. I encourage you to live on purpose and not by accident. Have a blessed day.